What's going on, y'all? It's your boy Playmaker Wave with the playbook. Hoping you have a great day, morning, or evening. And y'all read the title, man. What is liquidity and how to find it? Now, if it's your first time on the channel, welcome. I appreciate you giving this video a chance. Make sure to hit that bell and sub button because we don't just post weekly content like this, but we also post weekly stock and crypto and altcoin analysis. And most importantly, we live stream and live trade every day, London session 3 a.m. EST on this very same channel. So we're not your typical investment channel. We show you how to make money both on the front end as well as on the back end, meaning how to make money passively as well as actively when it comes to investing and when it comes on these charts. Speaking of active income, I want to give a special shout out to not only the members and students, but those that attended the London session live. Again, if you just go to the April 4th London session live in the live section of this YouTube channel, you'll see that we did break down this NAS 100 setup as well as this GJ setup right here once it loads, as well as this, oh my goodness, GJ setup, as well as this GN setup. Now, I didn't take this GN setup because I should have, but I was happy with my 1-to-8 and 1-to-5 and 1-to-4 risk ratio setup, but this would have been a whopping 1-to-10. Those that was in the live stream, this thing went absolutely crazy. And again, if you don't believe that I broke it down in the live stream, all you gotta do is just watch the live stream. It's right there. Also, all you gotta do is watch the Sunday chart analysis. I literally said all of this at the beginning of the week before markets even opened up. Like I always tell you, the Sunday chart analysis goes over not only what we see price doing Sunday night going into Monday, but what we see price doing throughout the entire week. You also see how he ended last month, March, and you also see how he wrapped up quarter 1 when absolutely bonkers. 45 wins, 5 losses, 3 months combined, giving us a 90% win rate. Like I always tell y'all, this is called the playbook for a reason, y'all. Now, let's break down what this video is about. So I'm talking about this because one of my homeboys asked me to make a video about this, but also because everybody likes liquidity. But let me just tell you something. Liquidity is just one piece to the puzzle. But first you have to understand what causes liquidity, right? Because in order to first trade, you got to understand how trading or the charts work. So all liquidity is consolidation or a sideways market, but it's typically on the smaller time frames where people like to enter at. But what causes the liquidity? I'm about to give y'all some serious game right now. So go ahead and like this video. All liquidity is price simply struggling to break above and below the support and resistance level, which is why it causes that ranginess. So what you have to understand about liquidity is simply just retesting or breaking a support or resistance level. I'm gonna say it again. All liquidity is retesting or breaking a support or resistance level. And I'm about to prove this right now. So you see we have my key price levels marked off. Wouldn't this be considered liquidity to y'all? Wouldn't this be considered liquidity? And wouldn't this be a liquidity sweep and then a push to the downside, right? Wouldn't this be liquidity, then price broke and then came back to this liquidity, create more liquidity? You see this liquidity right here? You see how it's on these key price levels? All liquidity is low volume and struggling to break above and through a resistance level or below and through a support level. That's all liquidity is. Like, it's literally that simple. So the easiest way to find liquidity is find support resistance level, or when you find liquidity, you're going to find a support resistance level, right? It's literally this simple. Now, I don't base these key price levels off of liquidity. It just matches up with how I do things, right? But again, all liquidity is price struggling to break through support and resistance levels. Like, this video is very short and sweet to the point. Like, there's nothing else to talk about. So how to go about liquidity sweeps and fake outs? That's very simple. The easiest way to, now you're not going to be able to avoid every single one because we can't control the markets, right? One thing I always tell the members and students is you only control when you enter a trade, exit a trade, and how much we risk per trade. Reversals happen, trend changes happen. We can't control those. But again, when you understand how this works, you'll be able to avoid a lot of the mistakes you make. So one of the easiest ways to avoid a liquidity sweep or fake out is simply by going with the flow of price, right? So we see here how we have this liquidity sweep. Again, it's chilling on this support level, right? It's chilling on the support level and struggling to break this resistance level. So again, we had bullish momentum here. So you see how this was a fake out liquidity sweep? Why would people get faked out here? Because they're going against the flow of price. Again, what does the playbook say? The playbook says to go with the flow of price. So we can see here that we was clearly in a uptrend, right? So what do I always tell the members and students? If we're in an uptrend, only look for buys. If we're in a downtrend, only look for sells. And look what happens when you chase price instead of follow the flow of price. You would have fell for that fake out liquidity sweep just for price to continue to push to the upside. When simply all you had to do was wait for price to hold this low as support again, and then you could have went for a buy or retest to see if it could hold this low as support again and go for a buy, right? So here's another liquidity sweep fake out. How could you have avoided this? So again, we have bearish momentum, right? And then we had price break this level. So what I always say, we don't break out trade, we wait for the retest confirmation. So if y'all would have just simply waited for price to see if it could hold as low as resistance and push back down versus go for a sell as soon as price touched it, you could have saw that price was actually turning this resistance level back into a support, and then you could have actually rode the wave back up. You see how that works? So that's all liquidity is. Look right here. Again, we had an uptrend, we had the reversal into the downtrend, and then price was building liquidity here, coincidentally, not really, but you know what I'm saying, coincidentally, quote unquote, on this key price level. Again, so people was probably looking for buys here because price did this push up, but we see the key signs of a trend change, which is in the playbook. Link gonna be in the description, in the bio, in the comment section. So then once price broke this level, boom, right? Then we had liquidity here. So that's all liquidity is, y'all. Again, people make it a little bit more complicated than it is. All price does is follow the flow of price, uptrend, downtrend, and then consolidation is simply a lack of volume and price struggling to break through that next level, which we see right here. Again, liquidity, then once the volume picked up, the downtrend continued. Liquidity, once volume picked up, the reversal came into play, right? That's all liquidity is, y'all. If y'all enjoyed this video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Comment down below any questions, comments, concerns you may have. Make sure to hit that first link in the description, join a free Signal free Telegram. If you're interested in learning how to identify these levels, my Signal service or my mentorship program, make sure to hit those links in the description, y'all. But before you make a decision, let me tell you a little bit about those details. Advanced Play Signal, we trade Tokyo session exclusively with the members. We trade London session and then New York. Just like the Sunday chart analysis I drop in the free Signal, I drop one every day during New York session called the New York Price Watch List. This is where I go over the trades we took during Tokyo session, London session, and possible sells going into New York. I don't just say we're looking for buys or looking for sells. I explain why we're looking for buys, why we're looking for sells, and then I take it a step further and go over key price points to look for entries and exits on. As you can see here, I call this Signal. You see I'm walking y'all through what's going on with the trades we're in. I'm giving y'all updates to what I talked about in the New York Price Watch List. And then of course you see me showing y'all screenshots to visually show y'all what's going on behind the scenes, or what I see on my end behind the scenes. All right, we also have exclusive live streams that we go live during New York news events at least twice a week. And just like the London session lives, if you missed the live, they're recorded and posted in here so you can watch them when you get a chance. You have access to over 500 videos of daily chart analysis and weekly live streams. And in fact, you have access to even the ones last year in 2022. Then there's also the pinned messages like the account size key, the student and member group chat, and much more. Now I also have the course, of course. The course doesn't just teach you my trading strategy, it also teaches you how to read the charts, because that's what I teach y'all. You saw I had no indicators, no trend lines. It's simply just market flow and trading and entering and exiting off key price levels. Now all the stuff that I just went over, you get access to all that stuff in the course channel. So that way, not only do you have the step-by-step playbook of how to look and read any chart at all times, but you have ongoing chart analysis, ongoing education for life. Now I also have one-on-one sessions. One-on-one sessions also comes with access to the Advanced Play Signal Room and the student member group chat. That way you can earn while you learn, but then you also get 2 sessions a week that are recorded an hour long, but you also get 2 sessions a week that are recorded in an hour long and they're sent to you the same day. Those are yours to keep for life. So if you're interested in that, hit those links in the description. If y'all want to contact me directly, y'all can DM me on Instagram at playmaker_way. Also make sure to follow me on there, and TikTok _playmakerway_. I post daily on both pages. And I'll see y'all next time I'm live or next time I post a video. Peace. We out.